Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
What's going on, peoples? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. We got some stuff to talk about this evening. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll bring you back up when your camera ready. I want to give a shout out to everybody here. Everyone who pulled up yesterday for the show, everybody who pulled up for the open mic on Friday. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. I've made it my mission to be consistent, to stay on their helmets all year, and I'm going to make it my business to continue doing so. As you will see here and moving forward this week, I'm not slowing down. Shout out to Sydney, Jason, all my poets, everybody that's been showing love. Appreciate your time, the memories, the poetry. Always a pleasure, always a special moment in time that can't get replaced. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is going to take a while. We got a lot to cover. I need y'all to do me a solid. Like, share, repost, whatever you got to do to let the people know that we are on. I'm going to need y'all feedback. I'm going to need to hear your voices. I'm going to need you to let YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, I need you to let social media know that our voices matter, that this discussion matters. Nothing said here is going to waste. Our feelings, everything that we represent has to stand for something. We cannot allow these discussions to fall on deaf ears. We can't. I'm highly disappointed. Highly disappointed for a lot of reasons. A lot of them. If you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything that you want to see the panel now or in the future discuss, shoot me an email. DM me on TikTok, DM me on Twitter, DM me on Twitch, DM me wherever you are. Matter of fact, if you have any of these accounts, follow me on everything. I'm active everywhere. I'm present everywhere. I like to engage with my people, my audience. No one is treated more or less than the next person. That's how it's supposed to be. It shouldn't be you're too good to do this, or you're too good to speak to this person, or you're too good to speak to that person. It should never be a preference thing. It should be a human thing. Nobody here is bigger or better than the next person. Everybody here, you have something to offer to the public and to the people. And I want to make it my personal mission to make sure that the internet knows that we are here. The voice of the voiceless. Shout out to CM Punk. We are the voice of the voiceless. When there's deaf, unjust actions and behaviors, when there's prejudice, when there's bigotry, when there's bullying, when there's any wrongdoings, when there's relationship issues, when people are broken, when people are subdued and under oppression, when people are going through and they need guidance and they need help and they need fellowship, we will be there. I will be there. Whether it's one person or a million people, I will be here. It doesn't really make a difference to me. It's time for something different. It's time for a change. I got a video for y'all. I'm not going to play it yet, though. Nah, not yet. I'm going to bring my partner back up here. We're going to chop it up. It's going to be a nice little clip here. Let me make sure he's settled. Grab y'all something to drink, get comfortable. This is going to be a good one. If you ready, bro, I'm bringing you up. What's up?
What's going on, man? It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Fine speech, though. Fine speech.
We need it. You know what I'm saying? It's time for it. I think we need more of it. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's time for it. I'll say that. What's the word though?
Hey, man, got to get prepared for another week, just like you do, bro. Getting all my ducks out the road, did all my errands. Just got to stay ready.
Yeah.
What about you?
Starts up here in the mind and down here in the spirit. All that stuff got to be clear before I go into the work week. That means a lot of cleaning, a lot of laundry.
Stress.
Yeah. I've been at this computer since 6 this morning, back and forth, doing different little jobs. So, like, I don't play around with my time anymore. You know, that shit means something to me. You know, so.
Gotta stay locked in.
Right. We got 2 things to cover. I don't know where you want to start, but these are yours. I'll give you the grace to open us up with whichever one you want. Like I said, I have a clip that I'm gonna play. That's for the one that's in the title, but it doesn't really make a difference what you want to do.
I would rather start with that one that's in the title, and then we move on to the other one.
All right, we can do that.
Probably better.
So I'm gonna bring this on the screen for y'all. Some of you probably know about this, some of you don't know about it. That's why we're going to add extra context to it. The coverage in the footage is going to give you context to it. We're just going to give our extra point of views. So let me bring this up on the screen.
TYRE NICOLS found the defendant not guilty.
Real quick. I don't want to start it yet. I want y'all to get a clear view of this. Take it in. Read the breaking news headline there. This video is about 2 or 3 minutes. Now, we can play it all the way through, or we can pause it in between it playing. What do you want to do? Do you want to play it all the way through, or do you want to pause it in between?
I think you should play it all the way through. How long is it again?
It's like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah. That way we ain't got to come back.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play it all the way through so y'all can hear it in its entirety. Our commentary will come after the video.
All of 3 former Memphis police officers charged with the death of TYRE NICOLS found the defendant not guilty on all counts. All 3 officers pleaded not guilty and faced charges of murder in the 2nd degree, aggravated assault, 2 counts of official misconduct, and official oppression. The district attorney for Shelby County reacting to the verdict just a short time ago. Let's take a listen.
If we're going to make any sense of this tragedy, if we're going to have any silver lining from this dark cloud of both the event itself and, in my view, today's verdict, it has to be that we need to reaffirm our commitment to police reform.
Now, NICOLS was beaten after a traffic stop back in January of 2023 that was caught on video. He died 3 days later. An autopsy revealing that the manner of death was homicide. Let's bring in host and legal analyst Terry Austin. Terry, good to see you, but I got to ask you off the top, are you surprised at this verdict? A lot of people are.
I'm not only surprised, I'm shocked. It was a video involved in this case, and that video was very gruesome. You saw the police officers beating him, tasing him. They were spraying him with pepper spray. He couldn't move. He was handcuffed, leaning on the car. There was no reason for them to continue beating him, to joke about it, and to not give him medical attention. I'm very surprised.
And of course, you can't, read their brains at this point, but why do you think the jury came with this decision?
I don't know what they were thinking. I know that they probably felt like these officers were doing their job.
And especially with the evidence. I mean, you just pointed out everything. The video was there.
Yeah, that's right. They saw that video. So it's surprising to me. I don't know how 12 people can come to this decision. An acquittal is a verdict. It had to be unanimous. All 12 of them came to a decision. Perhaps there was some discussion behind the scenes. Maybe a couple of people thought there should be convictions, but there was nothing. There was not even a conviction of a lesser charge. For instance, manslaughter. Maybe they didn't intend to do it, but they went overboard and they were negligent. No, none of that happened. This was a complete acquittal.
But was that a part of the issue? I mean, that the charges were too strong?
Well, they have the option in this case to go to the lesser charges. So if the evidence shows that, and if they believe that, they could have come to that conclusion. So even though it's not in the original indictment, to have those 7 counts that are in the indictment, the lesser charges are included.
So what happens next? And can the Nichols family go after them?
Well, I think you're going to see some sort of outcry in the public, and you can see a civil action for damages. Remember, there is the federal conviction of these officers, and they will be serving some time. That sentencing hasn't occurred yet, but we'll see that in the future.
You're going to be busy for the next couple of weeks. You know that. All right, Terry Austin, thank you. And always good to
There you have it. I have my thoughts on it. I'm not going to say nothing just yet. It's your story, so I'm going to let you kick it off. But I have some shit that I want to get off my chest.
Oh, well, you got the floor, brother.
No, you got it. It's your baby. I'm not going to take credit for this. I'm going to give you your flowers and let you do your thing.
Oh, well, that's fine. Okay, so we going back to the video. I did want you to play it all the way through because I think it's very important for the video should be played. That happened. What was that? When did that happen? 2021 or so? 23. I think. Was it 23? They did that to him. But back when that video was taken, it was a lot of they didn't have on no mask. You know what I'm saying? This was just a straight up mugging. And going into the inside story on Trey Nichols, man, he had it was an officer, the one cop out of the 3 cops. He had a relationship with someone, and they said that Nichols was dating that woman. So back when the story first broke out. So that's what kind of led to that happening to him. That's just the backstory of why they, why they jumped him and got on him like that. And it's just a sad story, man. It was a tragedy for sure, and it just shows you what it is, man. I damn sure don't agree with the verdict. Let me put that on the table. That verdict was crazy. All 12 of them say not guilty. Like, what's that? Now I did hear about that. Even though they took the not guilty, they planted the not guilty on those 3. There was some other charges that they won't have to deal with, but it was minor. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that can put them behind bars. Those 3, after what happened to him, should be serving 40 with an L on it. They need football numbers. It ain't no way you gonna tell me that they shouldn't have football numbers. And up until that verdict, I think everybody agreed, including the reporter that was on the video, that they should have a football number after how he looked. I mean, they had pictures of after they did that. If you saw any of those pictures, and they were out there, yeah, it looked bad, people. So yeah, they should be serving a life sentence, no doubt. You got it.
I'm going to tell y'all off the break. In my opinion, first of all, rest in peace to Mr. Nichols, and my condolences to his family. I feel slighted, jaded, disrespected. I feel like my intelligence has been played with. I look at this and I think to myself, "Oh shit! Don't start with your conspiracy stuff." But I'm going to start with my conspiracy stuff. Yeah, I ain't going to really think that I'm level headed here when I say this, but I really think this was a ritual, a sacrifice. I think, in my honest opinion, this was to appease white people. I think this was some form of a humiliation, sacrificial type of a fucking initiation. And if it's not that, then it doesn't really register to me how any of this makes sense to the jury, to the judge, to the prosecution, to anybody in media. I don't see the logic. I don't see how the evidence didn't substantiate what we all saw for ourselves to be homicide. The coroners labeled it, branded homicide. This was a very fuck you, slap in the face. We did this. So what? What you gonna do about it? Situation to me. And those are my initial thoughts on it.
Okay. Going back to the verdict and how those three was looking in there. If you was just observant enough to see the looks on these officers' face, man, they didn't look as worried after doing something like that to somebody. That was another huge red flag that I kind of peeped. Um, Evidently they had some serious backing, so they wouldn't get that penalty, that death penalty, for beating them like that with the taser and everything that they did to him. Not to mention, if you go back to that original video, he tried to escape. I mean, it was recorded that he tried to go home. He tried to make it home, man, and they caught up with him, man, and then it just looked bad at that point for him, for Nichols, man. Uh, yeah, they literally beat that man to death. Now we're gonna go down a little memory lane after seeing a video like that off Nichols, because we can go back to all these beatings that people took in the past. We can bring up George Floyd. We can bring up Rodney King. You know how he was assaulted, but the main thing that we gotta zero in on with this situation, we have to zero in on the fact that, okay, they beat him. That was considered uh, what we all talk about. I think we talked about this before when they brought up the Black Lives Matter Act. It was considered a black on black crime. That was black on black, right? But it breaks down the division, and it's a division when it comes to the black community and the protect and serve from the officers, police officers. So it's like a rivalry. You see what I'm saying? We the people, man. We want to feel served and protected. You know what I'm saying? When we see an officer come on the scene or they get a call or whatever like that, we want to feel like we want to feel like our needs are getting met. You know what I mean? We called you guys for a reason. We expect y'all to do your job, and we expect you to come correct, and we expect the same service that you give everybody else. And I just feel like looking at that scene again, like they replayed that video, it looked to me like it's a division between the badge and the black community. That's what that was. Yeah, the officers were black. They were. But if you remove the badge from those officers, it goes back to an urban type situation and black on black, which means that those three beat him, right? He dies in the hospital, so he gone. It's sad for him. It's sad for his family and all of that. But then when you look at the other three, I think it was more than that. They just showed the three. I think it was a fourth or fifth officer that was present when it went down. When you showed them, if you remove the badge, now it's like, okay, we can give up some good justice now. Now justice can be served not because of the incident itself, not because y'all attacked him the way y'all did, because I'm gonna move the needle just because I can get more number with the black community now. So that should show the nation, hopefully, what they think about Black Lives Matter, what they think about the black community, because that was a perfect example of what they really think about the black community. And I hope people was paying attention to that non-guilty verdict, because that non-guilty verdict is the reason why the community give the officers a hard time and not giving them their respect for wearing the badge. So it's a division with the badge and, you see what I'm saying? And our lives protect and serve is what we expect. And I'm just saying it looked like that we don't receive that, so we rebel against authority. To me,
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I really think that this was and is bigger than just Nichols in this instance. And I say that because you always hear about white cops killing black criminals, whatever you want to label, is always a black cop or a white, I should say, a white cop gunning down a kid or gunning down somebody like George Floyd or whatever the case may be. You don't really hear about black cops doing this too much. So for this to be one of them situations, if you really trying to tell me that this is over vagina, I'm not going to buy that. I don't believe that. Let's get that one out the way. Fellas, there's not a woman in this world, if it ain't your mother or your child, that should put you in a space to give up your life. I'm not fighting over no chick. I'm not going to be jealous over you if you decide to open your legs up to another dude. But if this is a part of why this happened, then the officer who had the issue, you weak as hell for that. You hella weak for that. Because guess what? She's still gonna be out here fucking somebody else. What is it? A inferiority complex? Do you feel like less than a man because she chose him over you? Is that what that is? Or did she lie to you about the relationship or whatever was going on in that triangle? Your simp ass believed her and took it a different direction. Which one was it? Or is there more to it? I'm gonna say there was more to it. And it's a deeper issue, like you said. Even though we know dudes crash out over females all the time. The police force, the judicial system absolutely protected them. And you know what's tricky about it? Because you want to say, oh, it's a black on black thing, remove the badge, then what's left? They don't give a shit about y'all neither, for real, for real. I'm gonna put it out there. You did them a favor. You just took out another black man for free. You're getting paid for it. And they covered it up. They probably celebrating with y'all off camera. They'll probably get rewarded. You just did them a favor. How does it feel to know that you killed somebody over something stupid for whatever reason you might have had with your sergeants or whoever is over y'all? People are pissed, and rightfully so. Y'all want us to respect police. Y'all want us to respect law, enforce law. How does a forensic scientist say this was homicide? How do you have that video and the jury, everybody on the jury, collectively say not guilty? How does that work? Like literally, I need answers. Somebody is definitely looking over all of them, all of them. Everybody who was involved in this case from start to finish, you absolutely played a role in it. None of you are absolved of it. You can't escape it. You probably got bribed, or you probably got offered something to keep secrecy and to work your way through and weasel your way out of accountability for this shit, but you will not escape this. I yield the mic.
All right. Going back to the officer that you were speaking on, just to give a little more context of the backstory. The officer was a weak move, like you said, that was a weak move because that officer was in a relationship with that girl. I think they had a child or something. So what was said is that the lady worked at FedEx or something with Trey Nichols. They had a night shift or something like that. So that's why they were able to keep up with the guy's schedule. So they knew what tags he had. He was driving a car, so they knew what vehicle he was driving. They had tracked him down, leaving work or whatever, and that's when they start following him and stuff like that. So going back to that, you absolutely right, man. We got to do better, man. You don't you don't own nobody, man. And I think it's a hard lesson to learn. I think he should have been burnt for what he did, but going back to that video, there's no way that they can rule that they didn't see that was a straight up killing on that video. That family let's go to Nichols' family now. That family, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousins, grandparents, everybody that was in his family, they don't get day justice now. How you think they felt after listening to a verdict like that, but they got to replay that video over and over in their head? What happened to they folks? You see what I'm saying? That right there is what drives people to do what the guy Mr. Hinton took upon himself to do and do what he did. So that's people got to understand that from a totality standpoint, that we expected justice and we didn't get it. So let that verdict sink in. You know what I'm saying? You had the evidence, you had the video, you looked at it, you waited to a trial, you did all of the steps, and then they got off. So for me, that's when stuff escalates. So we tried to do the normal way, and we didn't get no justice. So if those guys ever get seen, you know, it might be a little street justice. I mean, people go hard for their justice, man. I'm just gonna put that on the table since we talking about the situation. People people don't lay down for their justice. That's how people feel. Some people feel about that. People protest. You do this, you do that. But when it came down to the nitty gritty, you know, what really happened? So what else left to be said? Go get your own justice.
What do you do when you do everything by the book and you still get screwed over? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a firm believer in letting go and letting God. But you know what you're doing. This is very dangerous. What you're presenting to the general public is that they can do whatever the hell they want and get away with it. And then once people let the dust settle, we're supposed to just skip by it, go on with the rest of our life, forget the fact that these people are no longer here because of atrocities committed by people who were supposed to protect us in the first place. We're just supposed to forget about it, go on with our everyday, let y'all raise our taxes, overcharge us, overprice us, kick us out, put us on the street. Just keep fucking us over while you're fucking us over at the same time. then that's just that, because you got the badge and the uniform. Now I know if you didn't see what I said about black fatigue, this is a part of that. This is absolutely a part of that. You took an oath. You took an oath to protect and serve, not to be sensitive and emotional. And this is dangerous for people who got positions of power. Because y'all think because you make a certain amount of money and because you got connections with people who can open doors for you, that gives you the right to play God for the rest of us. We don't agree with it. And there's thousands of people who don't agree with how this was handled. We don't agree with the direction that this is going in. And we're not going to shut up about it. He's going to haunt you. The child is going to haunt you. The family is going to haunt you. Your conscience is going to haunt you. You're not going to be able to escape this. I don't care how many tickets you give out. I don't care how many people you harass. I don't care how many trips you get to go on. I don't care if you get to have all the greatest vacations in the fucking world. You're not going to be able to escape what you did. That video is forever. The stigmas that you create will be there until something is done about it. You're telling people, fuck you, what you gonna do? And now there's folks that's willing to crash out. They are ready to say fuck it. Because why not? I don't give a shit, so why should I? I don't agree with tit for tat. I don't agree with it. But that's what you're doing. And I think it's purposely being executed. I think all of it is tactical. But that's just me. How else do you trigger a bunch of black people? You keep fucking them over. Here's the thing, right? I know this ain't gonna be very popular, but a lot of black people are sensitive, they're emotional, they're erratic, they don't use their brain. We are just as intelligent as every single race out here. I said this like 3-4 streams ago. We done built towns, cities, and all that shit is buried under water or buried under scalpels and buildings. All that shit is still there. It's just been buried and erased from history. Why? Because we actually have the intellect to be able to survive and supersede the expectations that these scary ass motherfuckers put out there. But see, we don't want to use our rationalities. All they see is hood, anger, bitterness, jealousy, fighting amongst each other. We don't use the tools presented to us. We don't open books. We don't know the laws. We don't go to meetings. We don't get involved with the shit that's going on in City Hall. We don't get involved with any of the shit that Trump and them got going on when time to vote and this, that, and the third. We don't. So to them, it's like, shit, we can just go ahead and do whatever. It's no different than being a feminine man dealing with a masculine woman, or a woman who don't feel like she's protected. She going to shit on you, and that's exactly what they doing. Then it's obvious.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you this. Going back to that video again, to you. We saw the video, they saw the video, and then we heard the verdict. So, to me, to you, what about that video made those officers not guilty? Did he have a weapon on him? Was it a knife present, or did one of them get shot at?
There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing.
So going back to that video, because they did catch up with Trey Nichols. They caught up with him. He was trying to get away. They was getting hostile with him at the car. He didn't get out the car. He played all back. He begins to run. He was running through some houses and stuff like that. I think they caught him on the other side because it was about 4 or 5 officers that cut him off, and then they started beating him over there. So going back to a few streams back with Mr. Ryan Hinton, he also ran. You know, when they came in the area of that vehicle. So, but he get gunned down. They shoot him. So my thing is, he didn't have that stolen vehicle. He ran. You know, he said he pointed a weapon at you. We saw the video, the body cam. He didn't. You shot through the trash cans. He lay dead. That's one. The other one with this Trey Nichols, he ran. You didn't shoot him though. You didn't shoot. You had weapons to shoot him. You didn't shoot him. You decided to beat him. That's 2 different options. How they handle who they was dealing with. One of them decided to shoot. The other one decided to use the hands and the sticks and just keep beating them. So that's 2 different ways. But what's common about both of them is that Trey Nichols and Ryan Hinton were black, and it was done by some officers. That's the similarities there. And you can go and say, well, one of the officers was white and the other one was black, but you know, it still led to the same outcome, and the outcome was Ryan Hinton died. Trey Nichols died. That's the same. So again, if you go back to those 3 officers and you say, why were they not admitted? Why didn't they get 40 or 50 with an L for what they did on that camera? It goes back to the badge piece. Because I guarantee you, I don't think they will give 2 squirts about their lives if it wasn't for the uniform that they had on, or who knows what else type of work they have done, else type of favors that they have done for the law enforcement. Maybe they got other cases hidden, similar to what they did to Trey Nichols, maybe. And because it was reported that the people that actually did that were a group that they did put in some type of work. It was a special squad, and that wasn't their first time doing something similar to that. So that wasn't their first time. If you see how they handled him, no, that wasn't their first barbecue. People, it damn sure wasn't. So why, if that's the case, when they was in the court, why would they look scared? Why would they fear of not being able to see the light of day again? They've been there and done that. I already know how the system goes. They gonna get us what? They gonna get us all. Now, we're gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate real quick. We're gonna go ahead and do it now. Take those same three officers that were so comfortable with the verdict of not guilty, and you put it back on that video, and let's just say Mr. Nichols is a white man. Now, would they look so calm if that was the case? Would they have done Mr. Nichols like that if he was white? Would they have chased him down? Would they have tracked his car down? Would they have done all of the things that they did to Mr. Nichols if it was the other way around? I beg to differ. I don't believe that they would have pursued it as strongly. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Who knows?
Nah, ain't no coincidence with that shit. And I'll be the first one to tell you, y'all niggas. I ain't talking about black men. I'm talking about niggas. The niggas. Y'all are the ones that make us all look fucked up. You really do make us look fucked up, because I tell you, just off of what you just said, y'all beat the shit out of a black man all day. You'll kill him, bag him up, take his body parts and put him in, or her, in different locations and all types of shit. You'll do everything within your power to seek revenge on a black man for being in the wrong neighborhood and all that shit. A white person come around, you already know what's up. You know they ain't playing. Them white motherfuckers is going to find you. It don't matter if it's 50 years from now. They looking, and they're going to continue to look. And while they're looking for you, they're going to take their anger out on more black people in the process.
So is it fair to ask a question? Is it fair to say, with that point right there, is it fair to say that the officers that were found out not guilty for what they did to Mr. Nichols, is it fair to say that they know themselves that the Black lives really don't mean shit, so we can do this to Nichols? We beat Nichols as long as we wanted to, and we good. But we wouldn't have raised a hand if Mr. Nichols was white. So if they know the system the way they say they know it, wouldn't that be true? They wouldn't have used the same aggression if it was the other way around.
Hell yeah. Everybody here, including myself, you know people from a past job or present job where you know who can get away with shit and who can't get away with shit. You know people who have stolen, I don't care if it was toilet paper. You know people who have stolen dish detergent, and they stock their refrigerator up or their cabinets up with utilities from the workplace, and they can get away with the shit. Of course they know. That's it's everywhere. That shit is on every job site. That shit is universal, like a remote. Which is worse because shit, they got the power to put you behind bars. It's one thing to get fired and lose your job. It's another thing when they can sentence your ass to 100 years for some shit you ain't do. I did a video like a month, 2 months ago. These motherfuckers, man, they was on a mission. They out here killing inmates and all types of shit. They all black people though. Buried them behind Mississippi prison. Unmarked graves, all black people. Just hunting them down. This yeah. So the judicial system is extremely fucked up. Extremely. They go after who they want. They punish who they want. And they hide behind these fake ass litigations to make it seem like they doing the best that they can do when we all know that shit ain't the case. I see why people don't have respect for police. Or anyone with power anyway, because everybody that I know of, damn near, they abuse that shit. But it's disappointing to see that there's black people's. It don't matter if you're a street nigga or you are a corporate manager. There's an Uncle Tom on every corner.
Bang, bang, bang.
That's a fact.
Just like that.
Think about it. You selling drugs to your own people. You killing your own people. Who does that benefit? White people. How? You fuck up the community. You destroy the property. They come and buy it. Then your ass got to leave. You work in corporate America. You're a black manager, supervisor. You shit on your black employees. Why? Because you work for someone that is white. So you kissing up to them and sucking up to them, but disrespecting the people that's working on it. That shit goes in every area. You could be a fireman, you could be a fucking Pokemon for all I care.
So are you saying that it's black people that's in position that sell their own people out just to get some love from white people?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, that may be true in some instances, but it's still some real ones out here, and we ain't going that route. Nah, I can't see you selling out. Now, what black people gotta understand, we ain't selling out, but it's okay to buy in. Sometimes you gotta go ahead and buy in though. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you're a sellout.
Well, give me an example of buy-in. What do you mean by that?
Meaning in order to create change, you gotta be an example, for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not actually doing stuff. Selling to me, selling out is doing stuff the way that they telling you to do it. We see it on TV all the time. They're pulling the strings. They're telling you what to do, what to say, and shit like that, and you down your own people. You see what I'm saying? No, we want to be the example. We're not trying to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? We want to create our own wave and buy in. We want to buy in, but we don't want to sell out. So that's what I'm for. I'm for the change too, but I don't want to get it. I don't want to do it in that manner. If you know what I'm saying, that's not right. Because a lot of people, all you doing is the same shit, but the difference is you're not. You think you getting somewhere, but you're not. All they're gonna do is step on you after you. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of your folks. So it's pretty much you giving up a 2-for-1, and that's what it's all about. You do him, we get you, and we eliminated both of y'all. That's called a sellout mission. We ain't moving like that. That's some uncle shit. So to this situation right here, because I think we need to move on to the other video if you don't mind playing it. But this right here is a good example. After which we heard the verdict, it's a good example on why we have the mindset we have towards people that protect and serve, because we tired of our expectations getting let down when it comes to these situations. Just when it comes to the justice piece, because let's face it, nobody's perfect. They all come in on situations where some wrongdoing going, domestic, whatever. But how you choose to handle it is how we view everything. And I don't believe these last few cases that we covered, that we heard about, was handled correctly. And this is no different. This is actually ridiculous, to be real with you. This is modern day, and I can really compare what happened to Trey Nichols with them officers to Emmett Till a little bit. They beat him. You see what I'm saying? And like, come on, why can't we get to justice? So if you don't mind, sir, if you got that second one, we can run into that, because this is crazy.
Yeah, I don't have the other video. Um, I wish you would have let me know ahead of time. I would have definitely pulled that one up. Can you like private message me what it is, or maybe I can find it and actually bring it to the screen if I can find like a clip of it or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, either we're going to do better or we're not going to do better. It's pretty much that simple. No matter how you look at it, they're not going to get away with it. Everybody who was moving corrupt out here, they're not going to get away with it.
There you go, sir.
Let me see if I can bring this up. Do me a solid. Give a little context. Well, matter of fact, I mean, I already know the video. What I can do is play it from here, play it from my phone, so that the people can hear it, because I don't have my Facebook hooked up yet to my laptop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the video. I'll play the video for y'all. I'm gonna make sure the volume is up, and we'll go from there. Hold on.
Witnessed our loved ones, or people who look like our loved ones, be murdered by the police with no justice. You know, TYRE NICOLS, young man, beat to death by Memphis police officers. No justice. Philandro Castile, no justice. Mike Brown, no justice. Trayvon Martin, no justice. Alton Sterling, no justice. Sandra Bland, no justice. Breonna Taylor, no justice. How many motherfucking times do you want black people to wait for your so-called justice? And what is the fear when we go for retribution? Fuck that justice shit. He got his own justice. He got it in the street, and he walking around with his head held high. And niggas want to tell you, he ain't even get the right cop. Well, what's the man's name in Texas? I know you're talking about though. I do know you're talking about. Wrong apartment, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kill that man. He did shit wrong. Just in his apartment, minding his business. No justice. Fuck y'all and y'all justice. Fuck whether the right. Hey, he fit the description. He fit the description. He got his own justice because he can't depend on this system. None of us can depend on this system. Is the judge even there for justice? No. When have you ever seen that many cops in a courtroom? Never. Never. Trying to intimidate that man, and he walk around with his head held high, keeping his family out the courtroom. But the thing that broke my heart is for that man brother to get up there with that forgiving shit. Nigga, I'm sick of niggas in their forgiveness. I'm sick of niggas and giving it up to God and praying for their enemy. Fuck the enemy. The prayer was answered when he ran that motherfucker over. That's the answer prayer. I don't give a fuck about all this hoopla, this bullshit. Oh, an eye for an eye, lead the world blind. This bitch been blind then. And how many eyes they gonna take from us? How many times we didn't take an eye back and forgive? I'm sick of niggas in thoughts and prayers being with the people that take your fucking nephew's life away for no reason. We have mugshots of every mass shooter that's white. We got mugshots of them. Dylan Roof has a mugshot. The Aurora shooter has a mugshot. So if they can go shoot up kids, innocent bystanders, all type of people, and walk away unscathed, then I should be able to steal a car and go to jail. But every time it comes to black people, the police want to play judge, jury, and executioner. Just watch the video of two little white boys, holding a real gun pointed at the police. They ain't gunning them shit. They ain't gunning them babies down. Tamir Rice in the park with a toy gun, and within 5 seconds, they shot him down.
You know what? Now that he mentioned that, I got that clip right here. I can play you that one. The exact one he talking about with them kids. Hold up. Just so y'all know, YouTube got their thing with you using certain shit, so I couldn't play audio, but that's exactly what he was talking about. We started talking about this yesterday. We didn't get into it, but that does tie in to this audio that I just played. So I'm gonna tell you all the break. I don't agree with what he said. I understand what the brother said, but I don't agree with what he said either. So I mean, just to go ahead and get straight to it, that's where I stand. You probably feel a different way. That's why I'm gonna go ahead and turn the mic over to you. I played y'all the video. They didn't do nothing but pretty much take the guns from the kids, wrap them up, take them off. So is he really lying about what he said?
I mean, only thing I can say, we can go back into the Ryan Hinton situation with the father and all of that, and then take it back to what happened with Nichols. Yeah, he said a lot, and I think back in that coverage, I was like, well, we grown accustomed to understanding, like if you make a mistake, like how he did with that, the officer did with that with the gun, shooting that boy down. My thing is, if you felt so threatened, because we always hear, I was afraid for my life and all of that. So he's trained to shoot first and ask questions later. Officers. My thing is with that is if you're trained to do so, what about the commands? That you was trained also. Don't forget all the training that you're supposed to have to de-escalate a situation. And I just feel like the way the video you just displayed, how they de-escalated that with the two the little kids with the gun, actually aiming at the officer. That's what they need to practice that for everyone, and I don't feel like they do. According to that video that you let play, the eye for an eye thing. I mean, yeah, it really it's really crazy with that too. The eye for an eye, because the father went down there and got that officer, ran him down. He didn't look for the officer that did that to his son, whatever. But like I mentioned, he was just frustrated with the system. The system keep failing us, and I feel like the system, from what he was saying, with case by case basis, is considered one sided. Yeah, I'm gonna say one sided. I don't feel like it's fair. It's not even. You mentioned up there earlier that, hey, we've done everything by the book to get the justice that we feel like other people do stuff by the book that they get. So if we imitate that, maybe we'll get a fair hand. That didn't play out. So basically, what my man was saying is that we can't sit here as a people and just watch our numbers dwindle, and we feel like we deserve our justice as well. So sometimes when you sit back and you wait, you know, for someone to grant you what you feel like you should have, grant you justice, you might be waiting for a long time, might be for eternity. And they always say, if you want something done right, sometimes you gotta do it yourself to get it done. So eye for an eye, man. It's a crazy world out here, man. But that's how my man was feeling because of the injustice and the profiling of one side system wise. So it's a thought. It's crazy as it may seem. Hey, we can't sit back on our high horse. We can't do that. So like I said before, all that kumbaya and protesting and all of that happened back in the day, back in the MLK day and all of that, them days over with. Them days came and gone. but we're here though. We're here. We're in 2025. That was like in 1965. So we're here. So why is it still like it's the 1960s yet? Or the 40s or whatever? We still got, we was talking about it with the Mississippi and things. We still got sundown town. It's technology, everything came in this world. Education up. It used to be illegal to get education. All that's up. But we still got people suffering from the mindset of, back in the day, and that's crazy. So only thing I can say is, man, it's time for a change. It's going to be a change, and guys ain't gonna sit back and keep allowing mistakes and stuff to keep coming down the pipeline like that. Man, this thing with Trey Nichols, Tyron Nichols, he this thing broke everybody's back, man. For real. Now, if you can't get it from that, then I don't know what other video you can just look at. That's all I'm gonna say on that. What else could we show them that you can get better from that? So that's the cream of the pudding right there. So yeah, yeah, man. Sometimes it has to be done. Street justice is real. Eye for an eye still exists in this world, man. And hey, it don't stop it, but hey, you do get even somehow. And it's crazy as that may seem. That's where everybody's at, man, because we have to get the justice that we screaming about. So I mean, I think that's the last thing to do. That should be the last thing to do if you got to do that. But if you tried the book like we did with this situation here, and you get the verdict that you got, those three officers, yeah, I feel like those three officers should be watching their head. That's all I'm gonna say. They should be watching their head.
This ain't gonna sit well with a lot of people. That's just what I do, though. Look, listen to this real quick. I've said this before, and I gotta reiterate it. I'm gonna keep reiterating it until it registers into people's head. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not Kevin Samuels. I'm not Dr. Phil. I don't have a PhD. None of that. Didn't grow up in a prestige college. I didn't hang out with the Gilmore girls and all that. I didn't rub elbows with John F. Kennedy. I got common sense. I know God. I have a relationship with him. It's not the greatest, but I have one with him regardless. I know right from wrong. My grandparents gave me an opportunity that a lot of brothers and sisters don't get. But guess what? We all still got opportunities. If you went to school, you had an opportunity. If you went to elementary, middle school, junior high school, you had an opportunity. Doesn't matter what the conditions were, you had an opportunity. Don't tell me you didn't. I don't want to hear the neighborhood I grew up in was rough, so I had to adapt to the neighborhood. I don't want to hear you grew up a certain way, your family was a certain way, and that's what it was. You had a house over your head, you had clothes, and you had food. If you went to school, guess what? You had teachers, you had a library, you had books. It might not have been the greatest education. The system was flawed to a certain extent, but you had opportunities. You know why I disagree with what he said? I disagree with what he said because throughout history, eye for an eye has its own lamentation across the country. Your dead homies are testimonies for eye for an eye. Your loved ones who died over drugs and overdosing. The people who rap and speak about death and speak about gangs and represent Bloods and Crips. They're in a spin cycle of eye for an eye. Don't tell me that's the only option. Don't tell me because they keep getting away with it, so the only way we can get back is to do what they're doing to us. You stupid motherfuckers. They're the ones that got the guns. They're the ones who have the prisons. They're the ones who have the tanks. They're the ones who have the fucking bazookas and the AK-47s and all the advanced weapons. They have the missiles. They have the legislations. They have the courtrooms. They have the power. Eye for an eye. What did that get everybody that's in jail? What did that get everybody who is burying someone right now? I understand more than anyone how it feels to get fucked over, to have people abusing their positions of power because they feel like it, because they can do it and get away with it. I know more than anybody how that feels. When your own people are the reasons why you don't want to be around them. I understand why white people and Asian people and Hispanic people and Indian people look and feel the way they feel towards black people. While black people feel the way they feel against black people. Let's not even act like all of us are fucking innocent and angels. The eye for an eye does not work. It's ignorant. His statement was ignorant. His heart was in the right place. His statement was ignorant. You're going to tell your son to go out here and avenge your death. Then he goes to jail, if he makes it to jail, because the police can absolutely beat the shit out of him and kill him and get away with it. You're dead. Your son's in jail or dead, either through retaliation from the cop or retaliation from his same skin complexion. But you want me to do eye for an eye. If y'all don't get out of here with this misguided bullshit, we ain't never going to get anywhere. That shit is so self-defeatist. It's crazy to me. And I'm going to reiterate this. There is options. There are options. The question is, do you want to go that route, or are you too lazy? Everybody had an education. Everybody went to school. If you didn't read, that's your fucking problem. If you didn't learn your history, that's your problem. If you don't know about the Emancipation Proclamation, that's your problem. If you don't know about the 10 Commandments, that's on you. You didn't read the book. You didn't listen to the teacher. You didn't take the initiative. Stop blaming everybody else for why the system is failing us. The system fails us because we fail ourselves. If everybody here that was watching actually went to school, went to college, didn't chase pussy, didn't chase dick, didn't chase validation and this superficial shit, and you went and actually did something with your potential, we would be better off. We would not have so many of these fucked up people looking over us. There wouldn't be a NICOLS case. There wouldn't be a Ryan Hinton situation. Rodney Hinton wouldn't be where he is right now if niggas went to school, if niggas read books, if niggas cared about what's going on in community, if niggas cared about recycling, if niggas cared about stop calling each other niggas, if niggas stop caring about, oh, I'm gonna shoot him because he did this to this person. Or y'all be on some real ridiculous, like, I can understand why people feel the way they feel, but you want me to just be accepting and be like, fight the power. You're not fighting the power. When let me tell you what's going to happen. Rodney Hinton, he's hurt. He's in pain. He killed the officer. Well, guess what? His dumbass killed somebody that didn't have shit to do with it. That's a human being. I don't give a fuck about skin complexion. I don't care about your race or where you're from. I don't care about how much money you got, what your status is. You are a human being. You deserve life just like everybody else. Why don't people grasp that? You're not God. I'm not God. Stop acting like you're fucking God. Sorry for my language, Lord. You're not him. So stop acting like you can just go out here and play bonanza, gun hole, shoot up everything. You're not doing nothing, you dumb motherfuckers. You going out here shooting people, killing people. It ain't changing shit. Trump is still president. They still rich. They still got all the money. All of our communities are fucked up. Graffiti, trash, needles, condoms, all over the fucking playground. All that shit. All of it is fucked up. Because of who? It ain't because of them. I get the hurt. I get the pain. I get the anger. I get the frustration. I do. When are you going to start using your brain? When is that going to be an option? Why is everything else an option but picking up a pen and paper? I yield the mic. Go ahead. If you want to say anything.
Yeah. Well, to retort with that, man, is that, you know, we do have to try other ways, other options other than the eye for eye. And I did mention the eye for eye is the last result, by the way, if nothing else, you know, works. But we're not going to sit here and act like, you know, just because, you know, we live in poverty, just because we sell dope or whatever, you know, we're a stereotype type of people that we're going to sit back and just accept, you know, getting shitted on. Either we ain't gonna do that. You know, we people just like everybody else. So that's what this whole thing is about. These verdicts and stuff that come out. It's about It's about us being stereotyped with the badge and the people. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be second class citizens or get treated like a stepchild, whatever like that, just because of some jealous hatred bullshit. Like, nah. Most of the time, like my man said, we didn't take an eye back. You see what I'm saying? He said that on there. He said, well, nah, we they took an eye from us and we didn't even take one back. So we're not going out for that. But with the whole issue, I believe with the eye for eye thing is they kind of sit back and I can do all this dirty shit with these mishaps with the tasers and guns and all these mistakes when it comes to uh, no justice on one side of the fence. But then when it comes to the other side with Rodney Hinton, now all of a sudden I can use the book and put you away. You see what I'm saying? So we're not gonna sit back and act like that's hasn't been a trend. That's been a trend for a long time for us what he stated. And we're not gonna act like that every like with that officer that didn't have anything to do with it and he lost his life. We're not gonna sit back and act like that black people didn't lose their life and they had nothing to do with what happened to them.
Acknowledge me.
So it still don't change the fact that at the end of the day, we got the United States of America flag. It poses stands for liberty and justice for all, and that's a reason to push your dilemma on people. You know, we're not gonna sit back and lay down just because of a condition. No, we're gonna fight through it. We need to break through glass ceilings, and it is some black people that breaks through. They do take time to read. They do take time to work on themselves, and they do get in there. Let me say that they do get in there. But the problem is, like I said last time, that it's not enough. You see what I'm saying? So it's strength in numbers. So if one person get in there, you might say another person can get in there, another person. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be impactful if everybody not on one accord. Without that unity, it ain't all that stuff right there ain't gonna be rocking. So it's good to have some here and there, but we need more. So until we get more, we ain't gonna see that change. But with this situation right here, yeah, uh we have to stand on business when it comes to on everything. You have to be able to protect yourself. Go back to the Austin and Carmelo thing. You know, if he felt like he was being, you know, attacked or whatever, he defended himself. Now that wasn't the way you should have did it, but it still don't change the concept. Because if it went the other way around, once again, here you go. He defended himself. It's called self defense. So my thing is, don't move the needle. Keep the needle still. Don't move the goalpost. Let the goalpost be what it is. If you fall in those lines of that goalpost, then you're safe. If you go outside of those lines, then you know your fate. But we're not gonna sit here and keep moving the goalposts when it's time for somebody to get what they supposed to get. We ain't gonna keep rocking like that. So that's it, and that's all, man.
I'm gonna tell. There's. I'm gonna say this. When God moves, there's no disputing, no debating. When you move, well, you know the end result. The problem here is that we get so defeated and exhausted with repeatedly bumping our heads against the wall, wanting results. And so our impatience or lack of discipline is removed from reason, and then we act out our impatience on whatever the circumstances is, leading us down a rabbit hole of pathways that have many options and many destinations, and none of them are ever positive. The reason why you're supposed to allow God to move in your situations is because He knows what's waiting. He knows what your tomorrow is going to be like. He knows who you're going to talk to, who you're going to meet. He knows who the love of your life is. He knows you're going to get done wrong. He knows you're going to be angry and upset. He already knows what you're going to be, what you're going to do before it even happens. You don't know it. But you're impatient. We are impatient. And we want to create our own utopia right away. But when we do things our way, it never works out. You know why it's unpopular to turn your back and walk away from altercations? Why it's unpopular to not argue back and forth with a dude, or when you're confronted, you turn the other cheek? It's unpopular because the secular world made it unpopular. Satan lied to you. The enemy lied to you. He wants you angry. He wants you bitter. He wants vengeance in your heart. He wants you to live the way that you want to live, so that he has access to you as much as possible, so that he can implement all the dark shit that he wants to do on this planet. He has to do it through a vessel. He's not just going to manifest himself out of the air. He does it through the person. What these police officers are doing, and these politicians and all these folks that think they just above us, they ain't doing anything that the enemy ain't giving them permission to do. They think they doing it on their own. They're not. So these two kids that's in this video, they didn't get shot. Well, children aren't supposed to get shot. What the fuck what was you expecting? Black kids aren't supposed to get shot either. Ryan Hinton wasn't supposed to get shot. He did. And
Ron Rice got killed though.
I know. And I'm saying, just to go back, I'm gonna rewind real quick. You said something that was important that people should really, like, you should already know this, but it's like, shit. The thing that I recognized was these officers do have training. They do. Because you said it yourself, they had the option of shooting or beating him to death. They restrained themselves. Them officers in this video that I played, they had the options of shooting them kids. They restrained themselves. They had another option.
Yeah, they
When that
de-escalated it differently.
yeah, when that officer went to that airman's house when he wasn't supposed to be there, and he let off 6 shots into that man's body as soon as he opened the door, that was intentional. They have the training. They do know how to restrain themselves. What we need to do is stop acting as if the pen does not matter. Technically, you're taking power away from the pen when you don't give the pen the respect that it deserves. If the pen didn't have power, then all of these white people wouldn't be in Congress. If the pen didn't have power, Barack Obama would have never been president. If the pen didn't have power, why do white neighborhoods have shit that we don't have over here? Why are their playgrounds clean? Why are their churches still up and running while ours are ran down and over flooded with loiterers and homeless people? If the pen didn't have power, how come Tiffany Henyard was mayor? Tiffany Henyard screwed black people over just as much as black people screwed people over, and she was a mayor. She screwed over black people and white people. She ain't do shit in Chicago. All she did was take their money and do what the hell she wanted with it. So don't tell me the pen don't have power. You just don't put enough respect on it. And you're too lazy to utilize it the way that it should be wielded. So no, I don't believe in the iPhone 9. As you will see on Thursday, because I got another show that kind of touches on this as well. I don't support it. I don't advocate for it. Stop trying to play a deity. You're not. You're not inhuman. You're not superhuman. You're not immortal. I'm sorry for what happened to TYRE. I know whether or not justice gets served here on Earth or after here, it's going to get served one way or another. But it's not my place to decide if you should die or go to hell or heaven or get beat up, or that's not my decision to make. That's not my place to make. We need more of we need more level-headed people in office running and holding these spaces and these conversations. We need more level-headed folks that's not emotional and thinking that whole street shit. We don't need y'all running shit. I don't want to see none of y'all faces at a council meeting. I don't. That's all I gotta say about it. If there's anything you want to add before we
Close out. Yeah, I just want to say about the patience piece, man, because it's like, we get told to be patient. We get told to do this, and we get told to do that. There's a lot of advice that be given out throughout these situations of difficulty. And all I want to say on that is, you know, I feel like we've been patient, way too long. Like my man said on there, you know, I think it's been going on since what, even before Dr. King. People been patient. People tried to avoid conflict, but it get to a point, man. If it's not working, you gotta go another route with it. Now, pain to me, pain is the greatest motivator. You know, certain people go through hardships in life, and it gets them. It changes them. It changes their mindset, and they become a better person out of it. So I feel like that patience. One thing about patience, man, patience do run out. It's a thin. It runs thin, and I don't believe in 2025 that we should be told that we should still be patient. That shit sailed a long time ago. Now, what we should do is we should be more level headed and get together and talk about solutions to help our communities strive and do better. Because even in the bad community or whatever, you do have people that rise to the top. You always got a diamond in the rough that come out, and that's true. You know what I'm saying? But it's the people that take advantage of the opportunities that they were given. But with this right here, I don't know, bro. I'm not really. This is a bad look, man, for all of us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really nowhere for that to happen like that. We ain't really nowhere nearly what we should be as a people. If you go back 60 years ago, like, come on, all that stuff, all that patience, all that marching and all them speeches and all of that, like, this is where we at today. I'm not saying it ain't, and another thing, it ain't no room for quitting, but we first thing we got to do, we got to start treating each other better. And like you said, you made a good point about blaming somebody else for your fuck ups, for your downfalls, for your laziness and all of that. You got to take accountability for your own ass, but at the same time, you have to hold yourself to a certain standard too, to not be walked over, to not be fucked over. And I just think that's where we're at today. I think we at a halt with all of this. You push me, I'm gonna push back. I might push harder. You know, if you don't stand for nothing, you're gonna fall for everything. So yeah, it's 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 certain things you should stand on, all 10 toes. And to me, this has been going on way too long. So it's like I'm gonna say the word racism is a huge bully that it's an elephant in the room. You have to address it. Now you don't have to address it straight with violence, but you can't sit there and act like it don't exist. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and turn the other cheek. I think it's one of those bullies. That word is one of those bullies that you have to handle. You can't just walk away. You can't turn your back on that. However you choose to handle it, it's up to you. But yeah, you have to handle it. It ain't no ignoring the bully in the room. That's all I got to say about that.
You arm yourself with your knowledge. You ever heard of a mind? Is it a mind is a terrible thing to waste? That term right there has been with me since this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Remember that commercial?
Yeah,
Remember
they splatter the egg with the frying pan.
that?
Please. Yeah,
Yeah, it go way back there.
that's old school.
And you don't really realize it until you get older. When you hit that mark, and you wasted all them years. Now you want to read more. Now you want to live more. You want to embrace life more. You want to cherish it more. Yeah, your mind is absolutely a terrible thing to waste. You don't even realize it. The power that's in you just off of brain power. What you could really do with that if you applied yourself to something that you actually want to accomplish and do that's positive, that's going to build something. Most of us will never do it. We're too afraid or we're too indoctrinated. But if you actually unlocked all of that and you realized the lies and the myths and got rid of all the confusion and mirth that's inside of you, oh yeah, it would be a done deal. We would be so much better off if we got rid of all of that bullshit that's in us.
The chains on the brain.
Chains on the brain. Yep, exactly.
Bang, 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 bang.
I'm gonna say this. These are my final thoughts on this whole thing. This ain't the end. It's going to be another case. It's going to be another white on black, black on white, black on black. It's not going to stop here. Once we leave this live stream, it's going to be another report.
It's already cooking.
It's already, yeah, exactly. Do you want to slow it down? You want to actually contribute to seeing positive results? Then you're going to have to do positive things to get the positive results. Negativity does not defeat negativity. As much as y'all quote all of these exquisite thoughts on social media, you should know that you, your cousins, your friends, huddle up, join these conversations, start posting links to places where, oh, I didn't know I could do this. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and sign up for this. That's what you do. Start sharing your education with the rest of us. If you don't want to do nothing with it, give someone else the opportunity to do something with it. What's the point of being wise and being smart and knowing everything? What's the point of seeing the world and being refined and knowing all of these faces and people if you don't do nothing with it? Don't make no sense. Help us help you by helping everybody else that need. It's it's the most simplest but most complex irony I've ever seen in my life. But I do want to say thank you. I'm glad we had this conversation. Um, it was necessary. They're always necessary. I don't really know if it matters to anyone, but it matters to me. And if it didn't matter to you, you wouldn't have brought this to the panel in the first place. So
It's not. It's not. It should never be always a black and white thing. It's a human thing. We gotta do better with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But this situation right here was eye opening, bro. It's something to kind of look at and to kind of put everything in perspective. You just gotta have your antennas up these days. Certain stuff don't people don't understand the perspective of something that we're talking about until it's on their damn doorstep. Once this get delivered on your doorstep, situations like this, now you can kind of go back in time and replay, because this right here, people ain't. Hey, it's an issue. It's been an issue, and it's going to continue to be an issue if you don't address the issue. And that's what's going on. We putting some heat on this topic, and we're gonna push it through. Because the elephant in the room has always been that word, whether people want to say it or not. That's what it's always been. You know, they you better than them, they better than you, or whatever the case is. It's about making everybody better. So let's get back to that and put this thing to bed. So that's what everybody got to work on.
Good show, bro. Good show. We got a lot to cover this week. If you enjoyed the weekend shows, you're gonna enjoy the rest of this week. I guarantee.
Talk about next week. Next weekend we got another what? We got another top 10 coming their way.
So this following Saturday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for my WWE fans, my wrestling fans in general, we are doing a top 10 greatest entrance segments. That includes the entrance music, the entrance itself. Uh, if you got a list, I would love to drop that in the comment section. I want to read those. That's for Saturday. That's just one. We still haven't even filled out the whole weekend yet. But aside from the weekend, the whole week is lined up. I got a lot of shit I'm about to drop. A lot. So do me a solid. First of all, I want to say thank you for the repost. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to I can't think of her name right now. I know she's probably watching. Salutes to you, Lisa. Uh, everybody, man, who liked this stream, who pulled up for it. If you can do me a solid, pull up to the link in my description box in my bio on my social medias. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It only takes a couple seconds. If you enjoy these, you're gonna enjoy the rest of them. Tap in, catch up. Shout out to my bro here. I hope you guys have a blessed week. Be safe on the road. Don't let nobody stress you. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The crew returns again. Yeah. We out
Now
though.
behold the lamb.
What was that?
Say now behold the lamb.
Oh
Shout out
yeah.
to them Cowboys, man. We under construction, but we coming back.
I ain't about to I'm not even gonna go there. Y'all be easy, man.
Them boys. Shout out to Abe.